Welcome back to Factorio MSX GigaBase. Well, I am out here way off to the west. I was about to say east, but it's obviously not, it's the west. Because, I mean, obviously we knew that there's an issue around the numbers of miners that I originally deployed. It needs to be about 3.8 times bigger, or at least 50 times rather than like 50 miners per train per minute, really, is what the equation means. And I mention that because this is such a long way that we'll probably take more than a minute travelling backwards and forwards, so we can probably have several interim trains in addition to the 50 per miner. That's not why I'm out here and why I want to talk to you about it. This here I had to fill in so that I could get in to do this extension, and so that I could bring the landfill train in, because, you know, there's some bits that need some landfill. That also is fine. What's not fine is this here. See this train? This train is copper 15. Do you know where copper 15 is? Copper 15 is up here. No, it's here. It's down here. So the copper 15 train is supposed to go backwards and forwards here. But for some reason it decided, oh, this is open, let's go! Let's go have Walkabout. And off it went. This train here. Copper 14. Copper 14 is up here. This train here. Copper 13. This train here. Copper 14. Copper 13. What the hell is going on? Come on, developers. That's ridiculous. The only advantage of going down here is from here to here. And it takes, they'd have to do a huge loop. All the way down here and up here would be the shortest loop they could possibly do, which is far longer than their total journey, especially copper 15, from here to here. This is ridiculous. This is why, this is 97% of why we have to block this. We have to unlock this so that these trains can't do this. They're not doing it because I saw them and I manually stopped them. They're all on manual. That's the only reason they're not fleeing somewhere. Goodness knows how many more would decide to flee if I let them. So, yeah, we have to sort these guys out, which will basically mean I will have to drive this train. I mean, I need to get some miners so that I can deploy here. I'm not actually going to show you deploying and building out this mine. It's the same idea as over here, which we've already done just recently. We're going to redeploy some of the copper miners, especially from here down to this one. Possibly even add one or two because of how long the trip is here. But yeah, we'll deal with the naughties first. I'll probably put this on hold, and then we'll get back to our regular program, which is science. We are going to do some more science today. Yay! Okay, I will see you soon. Welcome back to the rest of this. So I'm now over near the yellow science, and there's a very good reason for being by yellow science, and that is because this format will work for green and red to some extent as well. Basically in terms of having the two stacks. Now, if you have a look at science, particularly say infinite science, it's 1 minute research, one of all the packs, right? Except military, but no one really cares about military, do they? Except when you do things like that and it gets inserted, but we're not going to do too many things like that. We'll be doing things like this mainly. So it's one of everything, 60 seconds. If you have a look at SpaceX research, it's 2 red, 2 green, 1 blue, but over 2 minutes. So to get our benefit of 6,000 blue, we actually need 12,000 red and green, and if we do that within a minute, well, over the 2-minute period, we'll effectively get 24,000 red and 12,000 over 2 minutes, or 6,000 blue. But that means to benefit from 6,000 of the higher tier sciences, we need 12,000 red, 12,000 green, and twice as many labs. Well, to try and get to our 60 UPS, I'm not going to build out all of that, but I'm going to provide the room. If we have a look at my planning way back when, up here, at the test location, the green sciences, I needed 54 plus 7 gear wheels, 5 inserters, 3 belts. Now 54 plus 7, 61, 66, 69, that would normally form 1 block, but to make it 12 that would be 2 blocks. And the same deal with red, 45 plus 4, 49, that's 1 block. It's a very small block, but 1 block. Doubled up, it's 2 blocks. So the upshot of that is that this model works particularly well for what we are trying to achieve. So I'll just use that as my blueprint. And we'll grab all of this. Yeah, let's grab all of that. And that should be fine, and I just want a generic beaker. I'll put yellow because it is yellow, but that's fine. Now, what we need to do now is basically run up here, work out how far up we'd have to go, which would be roughly there for the train tracks. And if we're there for the train tracks, we have to be, well, we'll see where we end up over here for where the 4 to 2 comes in, sort of round about here. It looks to me like if we put it there, that would be high enough, as long as it's higher than about there, and that would be the next logical place. So let us do that. So I think this side will be yellow, green and red. Then in the middle we'll have the labs themselves, so there'll be a feed from this side, and then on the other side purple, blue, and that other one, military, because we do actually need to do military even if we treat them as the poor cousin. Let's just fix those 2 up. And now that we have that, let's see if we can go to InfiniZoom and match this up. That pretty much looks like it. Gonna run out of rail in a second. But that's why we have 4,000 rail in the train down here. So we can drive it up and call on it to restock us. In fact, we probably need to get the slower legs out. need to restock again. We certainly probably need some more of these signals, these ones, possibly those. Down to here, grab some of those. Don't worry about not being able to insert rail. You will burn it all up very shortly. We're going to need some more stations as well. Grab them now while I think about it. Here come the slow chuggers. I'll have a sip of my wine while the robots build this out. Ah, very nice. Right, you guys. Recharge, please. So the idea with green is, well, the reason it needs the 3 platforms, so it's 1 platform for the science itself. 1 platform will end up being a dedicated iron, and I guess the other will, it won't get used nearly as much, but it will be for the circuits that are required for the inserters. But basically, you need more than a 383 per minute of the iron by itself. So in my view, we kind of need to ensure that we can do that. What I might do is just get rid of the beacons and the assembly machines, red and blue boxes, fast inserters if there are any, and stack inserters for this upper one. Because all I want built out is, I guess, the track. Really, I just want to know where the track goes. That's really the most important part. So this will be where green science is. We need more rail. Don't worry about giving me raw wood, I don't really want it. Looks like we need some more inserters and some more red and blue boxes. We should have all of those things in here. Let's grab those as well. Maybe grab those as well. Oh, they're putting them everywhere, not just in the middle here. Which I guess makes sense. Unfortunately, this isn't really the correct build, so maybe it's not really worth doing that at this time. Okay, that will do for green for the moment. We'll come back and finish out the finer detail. But I want to get the groundwork laid for red science as well. And red science only needs 2, I think. It doesn't need to consume, it needs copper and it needs iron, but not nearly the same sort of volume as required by green science. Basically it is 12,000 a minute for the 6,000, not not the excessive numbers that green science if we come over, let's get back our fast legs. If we come back over here, just have a look where all of this is kind of laid down. Come up a bit, just to be sure. So we might be okay. Let me just have a look. Actually, I could count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So if we turn this into where the 4 to 2 turn off for red sciences. This up quickly before anyone notices we haven't fixed our blueprint yet. And we'll lay this one down. Now, for red, as I said, it's not quite right, but a lot of it is right. So we'll make the most of the fact that a lot is correct. Certainly all this part is. Do we need this many stackers for red and green science? Quite possibly not, but I don't think it causes any great harm. Over allow all the stackers. And that's probably about as much of red as I really wanted to build out for the moment. So we know what the content of green is going to be. The next thing that is interesting to me, I guess, is the science stacks themselves. And I think we decided we needed 256. And we were going to stack them in 4 blocks of 64, which is basically 11. And they're actually going to need 3 inputs as well. 1 from each side and a special little one for space science. So, what I think I want is a feed coming from these guys into a like we need train stations. We probably effectively need the oil stacker upside down because we'll probably need these things in reverse. Do I still have the oil stacker, or am I going to have to get another copy of it? That's the oil stacker there. So it's got 4 lanes there. That's interesting. How about if we just twist it around? I actually don't mind it having 4 lanes, to be perfectly honest. I don't like the fact that I'm going straight through the coal. Maybe I should come down here to avoid the coal. And then, yeah, I don't actually mind having the 4 lanes. So if it was somewhere like about here, now I'm not sure if this is enough entry lanes. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 2 per science. Space science can be handled slightly differently. These things are probably on the wrong side. I guess we'll find out really soon. As soon as some of them get placed, along with their matching rail. Looks like they're the right side actually, so that looks like it has worked for me. That has pretty much done exactly what I wanted. So my idea is that the science trains are actually locked in their own little microcosm, just so they can't do silly things like the copper trains did. Because no one likes a stupid train. Have you got stations? You have, but I can't fit them unless I do that, and I actually probably need to get rid of a bit more so there's room for some of those signals. Right, let's come on back down. My problem will be, of course, that I want a mirror of this, which will be difficult. Because then everything will be around the wrong way. Most likely. But how does this look on the big map? So it gets to there, we have labs here. If we have all of this again, I don't think we even make it all the way over to here. It's somewhat, it's earlier. It might even be sort of here. Which is fine too. Let's finish off this bit. Do I actually need a 4-way? Possibly. Because I might have one... I might change it from being this sort of proper 4-way to being these 2 lanes go to the extra labs for SpaceX research, and these 2 just go to the normal labs, so we don't actually deploy these 2 to start off with. And this corner looks slightly awkward, doesn't it? Is it possible for a train to go up that? Doesn't look like it, does it? Well, I might have to completely redo this from the looks of things. This is looking a little bit too tight. But however, that is the basic concept. Yeah, I kind of think I will need to redo that. And this intersection. It's just this part here that was the important part that is correct. Yep. So the trains come in, park along here. And this is the lowest end. So this is basically, whoops, sticky key. A 4 to 2, although my normal 4 to 2 doesn't work. So, something like this. Whoops. And this one comes out. Like so, so that you can join there, or you can join, whoops, in there, and this one gives you the fun of being able to do that, or that, and hopefully I've done this in such a way, which I'm pretty sure I haven't. So let me just change it slightly. Now we should have a better joy with signals, so you can go up there. Can't fit one there, so I didn't do it as well as I was hoping. Out of those already. But I mean, that's the general idea. So you have this intersection to feed everything, and then this just carries on up into the next product. Which will be basically a copy of this. I don't need that just at the moment. It's the middle one, isn't it? Yep. So something like that. And of course this one also gets the same treatment. and then whichever one ends up being the correct part of red science will also get one of those. So yeah, they feed over to this area, and yes, I think I do need to redo everything from here, so let's do that. Oh, we'll get some rail back in a second. There we go. See if this survives the removal. I think that helps them recharge. We must be missing... oh, here we go. So I mean, the basic idea here is just that it's just that this should feed into here in such a way as it can get into like the first pair of what am I trying to say? The first, so there's one a two-way that goes to the upper set and a two-way that goes to the lower set. In the initial part of the development we'll only build out the lower part, but we need the top part to be there. So I guess it's something like this. Is that 2? 1, 2, yeah, but it's horrid. Slightly less horrid. And then, yeah, we need basically from that point probably the likes of a normal 4 to 2, but obviously it's probably not going to work particularly well. 1, 2. Maybe out there. And this lets us come down as well as up. And yeah, these intersections are probably all over the place. Not quite what we want just yet. But that will give us an up and down, and we will then deploy something of this nature for labs. 4 lots of them. This goes up a whole lot higher, then another 4 lots of them. Then on the other side, the other sciences doing the opposite of this to feed in. That's how it's going to work. I think we've done enough for this episode, however, so thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time when we press on with our science builds. See you then. Bye bye for now.